This episode of the Kryptonaut podcast is brought to you by NordVPN. Now, I talk about it all the time, but cybersecurity and privacy has never been more important, especially now in 2021. It is the Wild West out there. Protect yourself with NordVPN. NordVPN shields your IP address and secures your online traffic with state-of-the-art end-to-end encryption. Whether it's the NSA, your internet service provider, or some sketchy dude in Taco Bell trying to sniff the unsecured Wi-Fi traffic, take control of your internet privacy and security now with NordVPN. Now, I know this might sound all very high-tech and cloak and dagger. It's not. It's very simple. You sign up for an account, you download an app, you hit connect, and you are protected on up to 6 devices. I personally have it on my phone, my home computer, and my laptop, so whenever I'm out and about or I feel that I need to use it, I just hit my connect button, boom, I'm on Nord and I'm secured. Now, they are offering the listeners of this podcast the holiday season deal. You can get this by going to nordvpn.com/hellerspace or use promo code hellerspace, all one word, to get up to 73% off your NordVPN plan plus a bonus gift. This is a limited time offer, so be sure to act soon on this. This information will be available in the description of this podcast, so you can check it out there. Spoiler alerts, this episode was recorded remotely, but I was using NordVPN while we recorded it, so the government wasn't able to snoop in and hear for you good people out there. Protect yourself with NordVPN, and without further ado, Christopher, cue that creepy music. Hello and welcome to the Kryptonaut podcast. My name is Mark Storrs, and with me, as always, is...
I am Chris.
And...
Rob Morphy.
We are just living in this little square virtual world of video screens. It's kind of weird.
It's weird, coming back to it, like I forgot all the protocols, all the niceties, all the shit I have to do to get ready for it. Back in quarantine.
Yeah, sort of. It's a precautionary move, I suppose, because COVID's a thing and we're just living in its world now. So we're just behind our little virtual screens here with our microphones and our headsets, just doing our jam, doing the Kryptonaut podcast. Glad to be back with everybody here. Holidays are upon us. Be sure to check out all those sales at hellerspace.com. Oh, shoehorned that one in there.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you do all the time. So
yeah, I mean, it's not like that's a shock.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
No, I'm at the world's worst salesman. Every fucking chance I get. But something I don't have to upsell, actually, is our Patreon. Thank you to everyone that supports us over there. And Robert, we have some shout-outs to do.
Fucking A right. Starting with Jackson Kane.
Hell yeah, Jackson. What up?
Jacob Douglas.
Jacob.
Dope.
Thank you.
The aforementioned Boppins Lewinsky.
Boppins, what up? Thank you for all the emails. I appreciate it.
Eric Linfield.
Hell yeah, Eric.
Agnes Luna Reed.
What up, Agnes?
Michael Petrella.
Hell yeah, thank you so much, Michael.
David Davidson.
Yeah.
That's right on the nose there.
Clearly
Mark
hosts a TV show.
Shane L. Johnston. Johnson.
Yeah.
Added a T. Caught that one.
Mr. Johnson, thank you.
Busy Mom Weaver.
What up, Busy Mom? What's happening?
Ray Martinez.
Hell yeah, thank you, Ray.
Lord Shin 2021.
Oh, I like that.
So that means true, right? In Japanese or real. So the real Lord 2021. The coming Lord, the apocalyptic second coming one. I mean, it's hard to beat the Catholic out of the kid, even if you've evolved beyond.
Yeah, I think I don't know exactly what's happening there, but hell yeah, Lord _ Shin 2021. Thank you so very much for your continued support. So this episode, boys, we got something special here, and we have a little bit of an announcement before we actually get to it. So we are super excited. After all these episodes, we've decided that it is time to reach out there into the internet and to find ourselves a young scribe, a younger cryptozoologist who can give us a hand with some research. And we are so very excited to announce that Mr. Cole Herrold has officially joined the Kryptonaut team as a research assistant. So
hell yeah!
Yay!
Thank you so very much, Cole. Cole's been a listener for such a long time, since
and a talented writer and artist to boot.
Oh, yep.
For his young age, he's really done some incredible work, and we were just really happy because obviously, I love researching and digging in, but there's only so many hours during the day. So to get this brand new, excellent resource, and all of his fabulous leads on this crazy shit that even I've never heard of sometimes, it's really going to be a boon to the pod. So I'm super duper glad that he's helping us out.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
it's super cool to have Cole aboard, giving us a hand here on our adventures of assholery. He's super cool dude, and it's super awesome to have him on. So this week we're talking about the Pennsylvania Pandemonium, the monster of Mud Creek Road, and the Lewisberry Scuttler.
Indeed.
All right, we got a monster and a scuttler. I like this. I want to see where this is going to go. But let's get started with these abhorrent animalistic anomalies allegedly lurk on the shadow-shrouded stretches of backcountry roads located at polar ends of Pennsylvania. Though these sightings were separated by nearly 2 years in some 180 miles, there is reason to believe that these crazy critters have been cut from the same cryptozoological cloth.
Oh, listen to that alliteration.
Dang.
Oh, we are cutting cloths.
Cryptozoological cloth.
Cryptozoology.
It'll make the finest wedding dress.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, let's get started with this, Bobby.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, thanks to Cole for providing a lot of this information. I mean, couldn't do it without you.
Totally.
Nestled in western Bradford County near the northernmost point of Pennsylvania, just 25 miles south of Elmira, New York, where my dad was born, incidentally, is the tiny township of Troy. Sporting a population of just 1,354 souls as of 2010, this bucolic backwater would become the sighting for one of the weirdest run-ins with a large and ostensibly carnivorous cryptid that is currently on the books. The incident was reported to Pennsylvania native and legendary author, UFO and Bigfoot investigator Stan Gordon. Now, if anyone doesn't know Stan Gordon, this motherfucker's a giant, especially in Pennsylvania paranormal research, and he's been at it forever, and he does excellent work. So, good sighting on Cole's part there. According to Gordon, on April 11th, 2012, he received a phone call from a man who claimed that he and his girlfriend had encountered something utterly unthinkable, which scared the hell out of them, quote unquote, while they were driving down Mud Creek Road, heading westward toward Highway 14 outside of Troy in Bradford County on November 20th, 2011. So that's a lot of information. All we need to know is we're outside of Troy. It's November 20th, 2011, and it's Mud Creek Road.
And it's kind of recent, too, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely. It would be this locale that would lend the creature its name, the monster of Mud Creek Road. During his interview, the driver claimed to have maintained a laser-like focus on the road ahead, lest any wildlife come darting out of the darkness and cause an accident. When, at exactly 11:05 p.m., his truck's headlights picked up the outline of something moving on the left side of the road, approximately 35 feet ahead. And that's always something. You always think you see something. It's always nothing. Yeah. It's four squirrels and an orgy. It's fucking, it's a three-legged dog. Yeah. It's never what you want it to be, which is something awesome. And then the one time it is, you're probably going to be sad it was.
I mean,
because it's terrifying.
I've been to Troy a couple of times, and I must have missed a squirrel orgy. They must have been over in the bushes doing it, and away from the.
Were you looking hard enough? Because it's all the time down there.
Yeah, I guess I probably wasn't looking hard. I try to avoid them actually. Whenever I think there might be one in the area, I'm like, I'm going to go over here. I don't want to see the squirrel orgy.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying you're into it. I'm not saying that you're seeing. I'm just saying you don't know what it is on the side of the road. You see the movement. You surmise.
All right, fair enough.
He tapped his girlfriend, who'd been staring idly out the passenger side window, indicating that she ought to look as he slowly hit the brakes, fully expecting to see nothing more than a wounded deer. The woman, however, gasped, convinced that she was looking at a naked human, one who might be seriously injured.
So a regular
naked human.
A regular orgy?
Yeah.
A squirrel orgy?
A regular one-man wounded orgy.
A wounded orgy, yep.
There could be other people in the bushes partaking in said orgy.
Someone's in the ditch.
Or it could be cosplaying. Cosplaying as wounded deer.
Could be
Oh my God. That is the worst kind of furry.
It's a weird cosplay.
Or the best.
It's like post-shot deer.
I've never done it. It could be the greatest thing ever.
Oh my God. And does like an Elmer Fudd fucking like MC the whole affair? Are they like the dungeon master of the wounded deer orgy?
Yeah, there has to be an antagonist. So there's an Elmer Fudd character like hunting them constantly.
Oh, I feel so dirty right now.
I know. I don't
really
even know
dirty, not pretend dirty.
I don't even know what to do with that. I kind of want to Google it. I don't know.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Stop it now. Fuck you. No way, buddy.
Doing it.
Okay. The young driver eased to a halt, tilting the wheel so that his high beams would illuminate the squirming mass. The moment he did so, the oddly amorphous entity suddenly sprung up onto its spindly hind legs, which were long but no wider than a broomstick, before settling into a squatting position, its spine ramrod straight, not unlike that of a kangaroo. Their analogy, I don't ever really think to myself, man, you know who's got good posture? The fucking roo. But apparently they do, so I'm going to live with this.
All right.
It was then, under the headlight's harsh gaze, that the couple began to note additional details of this inhuman entity that would rattle them to their cores. Situated on its muscular torso was an unusually large head that appeared to be somewhat wolf-like, though entirely lacking in hair. On top of that were a pair of pointed bat-like ears that seemed to be about 6 inches long. This hairless bat-wolf hybrid was covered in, quote, dull, wrinkly, dark black skin, end quote. As if that weren't disturbing enough, the nearly 5-foot-tall fiend had a pair of arms tucked tightly against its body that were capped off by 8 to 10-inch claws that resembled the talons of an eagle. It's an all-American monster.
Oh, shit.
With one claw,
okay,
notably shorter than the other 3. Interesting note.
Broke it. He broke it.
He could have broken it, but I think it's on each hand. So I think it's sort of I say later on velociraptor-y, which is now an adjective, where they got that one super claw instead. They got this one stubby claw. Maybe it's a grooming claw. I don't really know how that works.
It's the monster of America. There you go.
This horrifying image was made complete when it revealed a mouthful of razor-sharp, canine-like teeth. So, you need the teeth.
This is up to no good.
Oh, God, no. Stranger still were the creature's abysmal silver dollar-sized eyeballs, which, despite reflecting zero light from the truck's lights, were described by the eyewitness as shiny. How the eyewitness knew that it was naturally shiny and not light reflective shiny, I'm not sure, but that was something that was very specifically pointed out, so I'm just going to let that one ride. The man told Gordon that, though he had no reason to make this assumption, he believed that the wrinkly creature lacked wings that ought to have been there, and added that there seemed to be bristles of short black hair sticking out from its myriad folds of charcoal-colored flesh. So again, to look at something, I guess maybe if you just saw a bat on the ground and you'd be like, oh man, you're missing wings, dude. But you could just be a weird mole type fucker. I don't know all the rodents in the world.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you need wings. So I'm assuming it was something like that.
I mean, if you look at it and you're like, definitely need some wings on it. Like, especially at the size that it's at. Like,
that's the thing.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, how could it ever get aloft? It's weird.
Wings of an angel, maybe? I don't know. What is it? Hopes and prayers.
Hollow body.
Hollow body. There you go.
No organs.
It has spindly legs. So yeah, totally.
Spindly legs. So that's not going to weigh it down. Hollow body, no organs.
It's a balloon. It's a balloon animal.
It's a balloon animal.
Oh Jetpack.
Cursed to live.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh, blessed to die, cursed to live. Without warning, The alarming bat beast moved its bulky form about 2 feet out into the asphalt, then began to extend its torso almost accordion-like until the squatting thing towered nearly 7 feet above the road. That's fucking unexpected.
That's huge.
It was then that the young couple stared in astonishment as the massive monstrosity leaned forward, collapsing tree-like across the lane, landing on all 4 paws, its front claws extending nearly 2 feet past the center line, while its back paws remained mere feet from the edge of the road. It almost looked like an elephantine, ebony, naked mole rat, only less terrifying, because those things are the fucking worst.
Yeah, I don't know, because what I'm picturing is worse than this.
Yeah,
in my mind,
it's a shit show.
And then it sounds like it just like fell over. Like it doesn't. It
like
doesn't
it stretches up its body tall and then just boom.
Yeah, it doesn't like go down gracefully. It just it does like it puts its arms up and then just falls forward, like it's passing out.
Yeah, I don't get it. It does like a special move.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just goes on its way.
It's like toy logic. It's not like biology.
Yeah.
It's like some shit that you would have gotten, I don't know, at Kmart in the 80s, and like it stretches out and watch it collapse on its enemies or whatever fucking bullshit toys did back then.
Yeah, it's a weird move. Maybe
I don't get it.
Maybe it's just trying to show its prowess, I guess. Is that a thing? Or
well, prowess is a thing. What I think you mean to say is like trying to make itself look bigger, like a lot of animals do to intimidate prey, or predators.
Or maybe it's a mating move. Like this is my dance.
Torso. Look how hot I am.
Yeah, see my penis. Let's make babies.
See how stubby my middle nail is. It's for the ladies.
Ooh, gross.
This thing is fucking gross across the board.
Nobody likes that.
Of everything.
Despite the guttural roar of the engine and the brightness of the headlights, the beast had been, up until this point, totally oblivious to the presence of the humans. But as soon as it had stretched across the road, something had grabbed its attention, and the animal whipped its head to the right and, much to their chagrin, began staring directly at the couple with its deep black eyes.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
They braced themselves, almost certainly believing that this terrible thing's attack was about to commence. But its surprisingly intelligent expression was not one of predatory glee or even simple curiosity, but one of blind panic. In his report, Gordon claimed that the man watched as the creature took a deep breath, its features a mask of horror. Quote, he had the feeling that the creature didn't realize that it was being observed, and when it realized that it was like it was caught doing something. End quote.
Oh, he got busted doing the big stretch maneuver.
The big stretch. No one's supposed to see the big stretch.
It's only like for jerking off
your lover, your kids. Well, not the jerking off part, but yeah.
Ma, get out of here. Get out of my room. You call me stretching. So dumb.
It's kind of funny though, like the size of this thing obviously could shred these two, and then it sees him, it's like, oh no, like it gets embarrassed. It's like,
yeah,
oh,
really,
shit.
that's the fuck all.
Yeah, it's weird.
Almost as if, I continue, it knew that it had, perhaps unwittingly, committed a terrible taboo, or perhaps breached some paranormal protocol, or maybe it was simply an animal frightened by the roaring, two-headed, bright-eyed beast that it had in its sights. We'll likely never know. I mean, was it just a dumb animal that's scared by headlights and faces, or is it like this, like, interdimensional intelligence? It's like, oh, fuck, it can see me? Oh, these fuckers. Oh, I'm so busted. And then does what it does.
Busted.
In trouble.
Whatever was going through the thing's brain, the time had come for it to make its move. The pair stared in disbelief as this enigmatic entity reared back like a caterpillar, then pulled itself forward with its front claws before propelling itself forward like a slingshot, clearing not only the rest of the road, but an almost 7-foot embankment in a single leap.
Dang.
So this thing is made of slinky, evidently.
It pulled like a Blanca from Street Fighter 2. Just fucking like.
Oh, right.
Weird. All right.
Yeah, well, just rears back, scrunches down, and plink.
So, I mean, it's a convenient form of locomotion if you're just doing like big giant jumps like that, but
Yeah, but you're huge and easily found, so what the fuck? You're not really helping out your case. Like if someone really wants to track you, they can do it.
As long as you aim yourself properly, like, because it's kind of like a cannonball, I'm assuming. Like, so as long as you kind of like can aim where you're going and the wind isn't too bad, then you should, I guess, be okay. But it doesn't seem like it's a great way to do that.
The stunned couple estimated that the monster managed to travel over 40 feet in a matter of seconds.
Ooh.
They were even more astounded that its exceedingly thin back legs had been able to launch the chunky critter into the distance. When Gordon interviewed the girlfriend on April 26, 2012, she confirmed that the creature's body extended to an extraordinary 9 feet in length while in midair. Its spine remained straight as an arrow with its claws extended forward. So basically, it's its own propulsion mechanism. It goes back, shrinks up, shoots out, and he's just this fucking projectile of claws and hard spine. Soaring into the woods.
What is happening?
His vertebrae, I want to see them. He's got to have some kind of crazy back. I don't know.
No, I want to get this thing into a CAT scan immediately.
Yeah,
I need to know.
Get this thing an MRI right now.
So, what was the so-called Mud Creek Road monster? The witnesses themselves weren't sure and were not even able to agree among themselves, according to Herrold's report. Quote, the two were both in agreement that the creature appeared to have changed form somehow. The driver stated, quote, its shape was nothing like when it squatted, end quote. So I assume like when it's squatting on its like spindly little legs and it's only 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
It becomes, obviously this thing is, a shape changing thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The driver, after his sighting, went online to see if he could find anything that matched the creature that they had seen. But he came up empty-handed. When later asked by Stan what the closest thing it looked like was, he later stated that it looked like a gargoyle without wings. Fucking needs the wings.
Oh, okay.
I mean, all right. I'm just gonna give it to him. I'm not even gonna try to figure it out. I'm thinking in my head, Ray Dong Chong, no wings, but totally different animal.
Oh, so, but she had wings, didn't she?
She did. And then I'm thinking of her gargoyle form. Not that. You got to know the movie to know what we're talking about.
Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the Dark Side. We talk about this all the time. So if you just take her form and then remove the wings and then kind of stretch her out a little bit, I guess. All right.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
because this thing still seems more tubular to me.
It does. Yeah.
That's why first, I would agree.
Yeah, it definitely seems more tubular for sure.
Yeah, mole rat like. Okay, so that's interesting. The gargoyle sans wings, whereas his female counterpart reluctantly and conclusively went on to say, quote, it shaped into another form. I think it was a man turning into a werewolf.
Oh, that's where it gets fun, dude. I just watched American Werewolf in London, as a matter of fact. So
classic. Stone classic. Stay on the path.
There it is. Don't go on the moors.
So, and to me, what this strikes me as is personal bias. Like if you have two people that are seeing a really anomalous, unique creature and, she's into werewolf movies and this dude just saw, I don't know, the 1970 whatever gargoyle made for TV movie on Svengoolie or something, then maybe they're just attacking it from different angles or they're just doing the best to piece the unthinkable together with what little bits of pop cultural ephemera they have in their brain.
Right.
If not, I don't know, but I do like the fact that they aren't in complete agreement because that to me at least implies that they weren't in cahoots trying to come up with a cohesive lie.
Right.
Yeah.
They're both bringing their own kind of perspective to it. Totally. Yeah. That's weird.
As if their encounter weren't quite weird enough, mere moments after the hellhound hopped out of sight, while the couple were still trying to compose themselves, a huge, screeching, owl-like bird streaked down toward the passenger side window, nearly colliding with the glass. The gasping pair were unable to make a definitive identification of this would-be avian assailant, but both were struck by the fact that this winged nerve-wrecker had come from the same direction that the black creature had vanished. Understandably, the observer told the investigator, this would be a night that he would never forget.
Lady Hawk? Is that what that is?
Unrelated.
Oh, shit.
Hedwig? I don't know. What was Harry Potter's owl? Does anyone remember? Hedwig.
You mean? Yeah, Hedwig or something.
Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I don't know. But it could be utterly unrelated. It could be a terrified bird. It just saw this springy ass 9-foot long fuck all shoot into the forest nearby its nest, and it's flying out, and then it almost hits a truck that stands, if it's anything like Mark's truck, a little higher off the ground than your average automobile. I'm trying to think of like a rational reason, but then there's part of me that thinks, they don't know for sure it was an owl, but owl-like things, as we have discussed before, are so often associated with aliens and grays. And this thing, though, it's nothing quite like the Delta dogs that we dealt with back in the day, which were, I guess, like weird anthropomorphic tardigrades that sort of floated around repairing a UFO in the winter. They still might be intergalactic pets, or it might be, I should say. Either way, owls in terms of paranormal lore and ufological lore are definitely found in great abundance, but that doesn't mean that this was a paranormal aspect to the story.
Yeah, for sure.
Just for point out.
I don't know what owl-like means. Like, what part of it made you think that it's not an owl and just
like
owl-like?
A fat head, maybe? Like what makes an owl an owl? Giant eyes? Well, they don't all have giant eyes, but they have the big things that look like round eyes, little horns. A solid dome piece. I don't know.
If you saw like a round bird shape that looked like it had big eyes, you would just say like, I think I saw an owl, not like owl-like maybe, but you can't confirm it because you don't really see it, I guess.
True. And you're right. That's probably what I would say. I don't know.
I mean, if it's just a bird, like you were saying, that happened to see this thing, catapulting itself across a field and it freaked out. I mean, do birds like freak out like that? I mean, I'm assuming
birds freak the fuck out, man. You
and
ever see a seagull with a French fry?
Yeah, I mean, I get that they scatter, but this thing like went, almost like, dude, Lady Hawk. It's Lady Hawk protocols, dude. Just
it could be.
Up.
What I would assume is that it's either panicking because like say it felt threatened, or maybe how they use magnetic fields obviously when they're migrating and things like that. Something's fucked up with either the magnetism or the quantum fields around this creature, assuming that it's not from this dimension, and it just makes a normal bird go all aflutter and freak the fuck out and almost hit a truck. Or it's completely unrelated and it's just a clumsy ass fucking owl that all of a sudden the last second saw it was about to hit a fucking window and was like, whoa! And then got out of the way.
You sold me on it. It's magnetic field.
I think it's the polymorph forest.
Polymorph forest, yes.
Okay.
And it is partially Lady Hawk protocols like that. Something turned into an owl, something turned into a wolf.
They're
just
lovers.
Don't go in those woods because nothing's
lovers,
what it seems.
Robert?
I would like to think so.
Do they make love?
Only when there's a glaive handy.
Yeah.
You bringing Crawl into this too, really?
It's called safe sex. Come on.
With a glaive? That's a weird. All right,
things get dangerous when the fucking this slinky dog bones the owl.
Don't. Or I guess if you're into that, Google it. One of the two.
Yeah,
however you want to do that.
Yeah, don't bone the glaive.
Yeah, that's a good lesson to live by. Yeah. All right, well, there you have it. Shit, that is fucking weird. All right, Bobby, moving on here. We got some more from Mr. Cole Herrold.
Hell yeah, we do.
This episode of the Kryptonaut podcast is brought to you by MyBookie. Charles!
Yeah, what? Oh, God, what?
Did you fall asleep?
No, I'm too excited about this promotion with MyBookie.
That's right, folks. Don't sleep on this offer. You can start by doubling your first deposit instantly with MyBookie's first deposit bonus. Double your money before you even place a bet. And all you have to do is sign up and deposit using our exclusive promo code
Hell or Space.
That's right, Hell or Space, all one word at MyBookie. Charlie, last Monday night with the Bills and the Patriots, that was a tough one, buddy. What's your take on it?
The wind was a whipping and the refs were awful.
All right, man, so apparently you turned into a pirate.
Sure did, matey. A football one. And damn those Patriots.
Dude, you have been stuck in a COVID quarantine for the last 10 days, and I think you might be losing your mind.
Sure did, buckaroo.
All right there, Blackbeard Jr., I'm going to sideline you so you can collect your faculties. Don't wait any longer and head to MyBookie today to redeem your double deposit bonus so you can get in the game and start winning big today. Remember, that's promo code Hell or Space, all one word, to receive double your first deposit instantly in your account with no hassle and no wait. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Arrgh!
Dude, you gotta calm down.
Never!
The next brush with the unknown was culled by Cole Herrold from Timothy Renner's collection of Pennsylvania paranormal lore, Beyond the Seventh Gate, which was published in 2016. Herrold's report, which was published on October 7th, 2021, under the title The Lewisberry Scuttler, and breaks down an encounter that occurred less than 2 years after the incident in Troy and about 115 miles due south as the crow flies. Earlier, I said something like 180. That's if you're driving. If you're a crow or a alien owl that likes to have sex with glaives, you can make it in just 115.
Straight line.
I like how you got to put in if you're an alien owl. And if you're fucking a glaive, it's that fast.
It's just that's how fast you're allowed to go. You get perks if you're that fucking thing. Mad perks.
Oh, I love it.
According to the account, a businessman by the name of Donald Reeser was driving along Route 382 heading towards Lewisberry in York County when he noticed what he assumed to be a tall, darkly dressed, masculine figure walking along the side of the isolated road, utilizing an awkward, almost shambling gait, as if he were injured. The date was October of 2013. Reeser slowed to a crawl, hoping to see if the anonymous ambler was all right, and also to make sure he didn't veer off into the road or off of it. The closer he crept to the man, the more baffled the professional became. What he'd initially assumed was a limping 6.5-foot tall fellow was actually much bigger, and by no stretch of the imagination human. The office man then received the shock of his life when the dark figure turned, revealing that it was not clothed, but clad in obsidian black skin, punctuated with patches of short dark fur. Its face was humanoid, save for the fact that it bore a long, snout-like protrusion where its nose and mouth ought to have been. At first he hoped that this was nothing more than a sickly bear with mange that had just happened to opt for bipedal mobility, but what happened next would swiftly disabuse him of that notion. Reeser stared in disbelief as the creature, not unlike the Mud Creek Road monster, suddenly dropped down on all fours directly in front of his vehicle. But instead of negotiating the road utilizing a quadrupedal canine-like locomotion, the creature, to our collective disgust, just scuttled arrhythmically across the pavement like a colossal four-legged spider. Yuck. Frozen with terror, Reeser could only watch in silence as the crab-walking critter disappeared into the forest.
You gotta just leave. You gotta be like, I saw some shit. I don't want to talk about it. Helen, I'm sorry. Goodbye. And just
Helen, sorry.
Leave Helen. Leave your car. Leave your wife. Leave the kids.
If you have to go back through that woods, yes.
No, I think at this point you just get out. You just leave. Just like going to Florida. Fucking see you later. Peace out, Troy, New York, wherever the fuck you are. Bye.
The other
Troy. Lewisberry, dude.
I'm sorry, Lewisberry. My bad. Yeah. Okay. Don't go to Troy. Better yet, just leave.
Yeah, no. If you're escaping Lewisberry and you end up in Troy, you plumb fucked up, son.
You did. You did.
You're going from one disaster to another.
That crab-like motion's always gross. I don't know what it is. It just fucks me up.
Well, anything that walks without a rhythm and you don't know what appendage is going to move at any given time is terrible.
Yeah,
it's scummy. It makes your guts drop. You're like, oh no, you're wrong and you're too fast and you hate me. I know you hate me because you wouldn't walk like that if you liked me. Right. And now I have to be mortified for life. So yeah.
Garbage.
It's a shit show. Total shit show. After he made it back to the relative safety of civilization, as opposed to Mark's express wishes, Reeser, hoping that he was not the only one to have seen the anomalous animal, confided in his friends as to what he had seen. To his eternal relief, 2 of them admitted that they had also encountered similar creatures in the area, though none of them had even the faintest notion regarding what they might have seen.
Oh, there's more than one?
Yeah, apparently. Or they're seeing the same one, and it's just a coincidence. It's impossible to know.
Okay, I'm not sure which one's worse.
More of the creatures is worse. 100%. Unless that one's smart and stalking just Reeser and his friends, in which case that is technically worse. So, fuck. All right, they both suck.
Yeah, they're awful.
The eyewitnesses all agreed that, whatever it was, it was not a bear or any other indigenous fauna that they were aware of. And although the creature seemed to bear distinctly mammalian characteristics, Reeser was struck by the fact that it had moved just like an arthropod. In his article, Herrold rightly points out that this much briefer account lacks such details as the description of the deep-set black eyes, the bat-like ears, or the massive velociraptor-type claws. But the apparent similarities with the sighting on Mud Creek Road remain intriguing. Whether or not there are any connections between these two creatures, the question remains. What was it that folks were seeing on the shady back lanes of rural Pennsylvania between 2011 and 2013? Many assume that the Lewisberry Scuttler and the Mud Creek Road monster are anything from malformed Sasquatch, of which there are plenty lurking in the Commonwealth, not necessarily malformed, but Bigfoot sightings in Pennsylvania are way off the charts for East Coast Sasquatch action, to a misidentified dogman, to a rogue big cat. But none of these really fit. What we appear to be dealing with here, assuming they are not the same type of animal, or maybe distantly related, is either a toothy, clawed, yet inexplicably timid predator that can condense, then hyperextend its spine in order to make the kind of jumps that would make Evel Knievel jealous, or a long-snouted, skinny snuffleupagus that can unhinge its joints in a fashion that makes it move like a spider rather than a mammal.
That's awful. That just is the worst description ever, a snuffleupagus.
Spiderleupagus.
Oh, Spiderleupagus coming to get your kids. Ugh.
So what does that leave us with? Are these sinister scurriers and bizarre bounders mutations, rarely seen cryptids, interdimensional oddballs, antisocial aliens, or just good old-fashioned demons? Or are we dealing with something else altogether? A new category in the as yet unknown in the already formidable files of the Fortean.
Oh, God.
And there you got Pennsylvania Pandemonium.
Yeah, there it is. Pennsylvania fucking bringing it with just scummy roadside monsters. All right. Well,
that would have been a better scummy roadside monsters. Head really to Pennsylvania. You won't know what's south of there, but you can see them here.
Dude, we go there for fireworks, so we may as well start going there for scummy roadside monsters. I mean,
that's true.
Yep, slinky dogs, slinky bears,
yeah. Slinky gross dogs,
shape-shifting
spider bears and slinky dogs,
batterpillars.
Batterpillars. Oh God,
I don't know what the fuck it is. I have no idea.
Yeah, no. So, skeptically speaking, here as we always do, I suppose we could go with the whole misidentified route. Which, bears are a thing. They are here.
Thank you for that. Bears are
like the initial counts of both of them. You could be like, yeah, they sound like mangy bears for sure, but then they go batshit.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's kind of the issue I have with it. It's not like it's, like a bear with mange on its hind legs and it's just walking across the road doing their weird little bear walk. These things obviously partake in much more greater actions, I guess. A crab walk and or a cannonball. So I don't
well, it doesn't really cannonball. It just like flattens out into like a super arrow and then maybe it collapses into a cannonball at the end. No one saw it land. Yeah. But when we're talking about the Mud Creek Road monster, again, dirty, mangy bear. We've all seen those, horrible pictures of bears that have, hair loss for whatever reason, and it's disturbing. This could be that, except that the extendo torso is mind-boggling, and bears don't have spindly legs. I mean, even a starving bear is going to have something thicker than a broom handle. So it's odd. It's not an animal that we know of. I mean, that much we can agree. If it's not a hoax and it's not just a brutal misidentification made by drunks on a fucking diabetic bender eating nothing but fucking ice cream and rubbing salt in their eyes, then we have to concede that these aren't fucking animals of Earth.
That's a weird party to go to.
I didn't say that it was a party.
We're gonna eat a bunch of snacks. We're gonna fucking rub salt in our eyes, drink a bunch, and then see what we can see.
I mean, I used to do that a few times in Weed Sport, but
that's true.
The old fucking Weed Sport Speedway party. Is that what that is?
Yeah, people drink vodka in different ways. People definitely drink tequila with salt in weird places. So
for for sure. All right, so misidentification,
it's something you have to put on the table.
It's a possibility,
and it's more likely in the Lewisberry Scuttler, I think, because an injured animal will walk all fucked up. Definitely. This thing didn't propel itself 40 feet over a huge embankment and disappear into the woods. This thing just walked really weird. So a bear can be hairless, be walking on its hind legs. But as I mentioned in the article, and this might have been just a problem, with the eyewitness not communicating all the salient details, but this thing wasn't described as having ears. It wasn't described as having eyes. It wasn't described as anything other than tall, dark person. Oh no, black skinned fuck all with a snout. And it's not even though I went with Snuffleupagus, snout like a dog, snout like a fucking, pig. A tapir. I mean, I don't know. I know, but that thing could be a fucked up bear.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I'm just saying, to give the devil his due, it could be.
Right. Male form. Did you mention male form Sasquatch in here somewhere?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Explain that a little bit. So you're talking like a mutant Sasquatch, perhaps?
Well, a mutant or injured or, I suppose a birth defect is possible. I mean, you're not going to get great hospital care in the wilds of the Poconos, probably, if you're an animal.
Or like generations of inbreeding or something just causing weird genetic mutations.
You can't rule out that possibility because you have to assume that these have to be more insulated pockets. And so the breeding group can't be as vast as, say, the ones that, allegedly live in the Pacific Northwest or up through Canada. Now, I'm not saying that always results in that worst X-File episode ever with the inbred family and the mom on rollers beneath the bed. But maybe this is the Sasquatch equivalent of that. And that makes it twice as disgusting and 3 times more terrifying.
You really had to bring it up, didn't you?
Well, I mean, you brought it up. It was your theory.
Yeah.
I didn't bring it to the scummy X-Files episode that everybody thinks is scummiest. It's fucking so gross.
The worst episode ever made of anything.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
Only because it's scumminess, not because it was bad.
No, it's actually really powerful. It's just immediate showering was required.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Christopher.
I wouldn't entirely take the fucking big cat off the table because, I mean, if they get fucked up, they will scrunch. Their backs will go up. It looks like they're fucking condensing,
right?
And they'll just fucking leap.
And
so it's not like it's
extend out definitely when they jump. I mean,
you ever see a cheetah? They're like 7 miles long.
A bookshelf, like a domestic cat, and it's the same. Yeah, just like you're saying, be it a cheetah or a tabby. That thing looks elongated when it leaps. So there is a possibility, but here's the one big fuck all for that, and that is unlike bear, cats rarely walk on their hind legs, especially larger wild cats.
Yeah, generally not, unless it was just maybe up on a fucking tree and then it just hung out for a second.
Against a branch, and they just didn't see it because darkness was the one unifying factor.
Maybe he was chasing the fucking owl up in the tree, saw the owl. His predator chasing the bird.
Yeah.
Thought it lost it. It takes off. Bird takes off. They transform back into humans. End story.
and then they can make love later at dawn before.
Then they find the glaive. Yeah. Kill the beast.
It all makes sense now.
Lose the fucking glaive because that's what happens. Can't keep the artifact.
No.
Fuckers.
Lose the glaive once again. Yeah, and big cats actually. Even in our area, there have been sightings of big cats, which is kind of scary to think about that because they're a large predatory feline, just like hanging out near Owasco Lake. Super scummy, super scary, cute as hell.
They
super
come that
adorable.
Close?
Want to snuggle them? Yeah, they've actually been spotted near like Moravia on the other side of Owasco.
So wait, have you seen wildcats around here?
No. I haven't personally, but I've seen trail cam photos from people that are like, "Oh, hey, check this out," and it's just like a large cat. It's definitely not a domestic cat.
Because if I see like a 1.5 foot long red fox, I lose my fuck-sucking mind. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in nature. Right. I'm David Attenborough. Yeah, I see all things. And then that's
we
over.
all do that.
Yeah. I want to play with them and hug them and laugh and run around and not get rabies from them.
I run my domestication program through my head. Every time I see a cute wild animal, I'm like, how many generations till you love me? What can I do? How many bites can I take until I have you litter trained and you love me?
How long?
I'm not an animal trainer. That never happens. But still, I dream.
How many years till I can get you to shit on the toilet so I don't got to clean your fucking litter box?
I know.
Yeah, you realize even though if they do understand and learn to do that, they're just not going to do it anyway because they're cats.
Yeah, it's true.
They're just going to be like, nah, not today.
Especially if it's like a big cat, like if it's a bobcat, like a mountain lion or something like that. Dude, I don't know, man. You fall asleep, that fucker's going to eat you.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not into domesticating wildcats. That shit is all Freddy Krueger hands and fucking big old teeth. It's a nightmare. I dream I can domesticate fox. Yeah. I do not have such illusions about fucking bobcat.
Yeah, so, I mean, all of their adorableness aside, they are located in our area, and they definitely are big cats in Pennsylvania. So,
definitely.
The population is there. They're not very, it's not like I don't think you're going to, like, walk out of your backyard and spot one fucking taking a shit in your yard or anything like that.
Depends on where you live.
True.
I might surely
soon. Yeah, you surely do.
So, yeah, it could be a big cat.
But all right, still, jet black skinned, mangy, okay. I'm sure I honestly don't know what the color skin of pumas are. There's all the same fucking thing. I think they just have different names. Cougars. But black, 9 feet long when it's fucking jumping. Like, I don't know if many lions or tigers, like the biggest of the big, get that big.
Yeah, it's kind of large.
I mean, on a full stretch?
I mean, maybe. If you're including the fucking tail, maybe.
And
these eyewitnesses are probably not out there with a tape measure 36 seconds later, just making sure they've nailed it.
Well, yeah.
We got to concede that.
You got to give them a couple feet either way, probably.
But then little stick-ass legs. At least of the Mud Creek guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could actually just be like 6 foot, and they're like, son of a bitch, it was 12 and a half feet tall.
If I saw a 4-foot cat, it would be 11 feet in my recollection. I don't even think I'd try to lie. I would do my best not to lie, but it would blow me away so much. I would surely augment it in my memory.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
But
so
I still
conversely
don't think it's a fucking cat.
I mean, I think maybe if we're dealing with whether it's some sort of weird cryptozoological thing and or like, I guess interdimensional fuck all or oddballs, as you call it. It's always a possibility, man. We never take that off the table along with the devil. So, I mean, it could just be a weird collection of creatures just kind of in the area living. They obviously would have, a food source, birds and or, other humans, possibly
rodents.
Humans. So, yeah.
Hikers.
Always a possibility.
I know what you're saying. I would take... besides all the examples we just aforementioned, I don't necessarily think it's traditional fauna, but we'll leave that where it is. I don't think it's cryptozoological, which is something I've said a lot recently in the podcast, simply because there's no history of these things. These are like two one and done, like almost 2 years apart, happens to be the same state, though opposite ends in terms of north-south. Kind of similar, but decidedly not in some ways. And just weird one-shot fuck-alls. And that, to me, definitely cuts out the cryptozoological, because in the end, cryptozoology is obviously just hidden animals. You're just looking for populations that aren't commonly encountered, but that still require a population of some sort. And that means there'd be a history of sightings, at least legends and lore that, would have been passed down. None of that seems to be the case when it comes to these things. Right. So I would take them off. And that leaves us with what? Aliens, interdimensionals, demons, paranormal, occult type things that were summoned, maybe from another dimension that's adjacent to hell. I don't know.
Dude,
I don't do summonings.
Lovecraft protocols. Yeah.
Well, you better start.
I know. I've seen enough movies. We all know. We all know. I don't technically believe in demons, but I am not going to try to summon one. I don't have Solomon's ring, and even if I did, I'd probably put it on a nice shelf. I don't think I'd wield it.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
You fuck with demons, you get fucked every time. Every single time. Every story I've ever read, every movie I've seen. I would not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a safe protocol, I guess, to go with there, not messing with the demons. But, yeah, I mean, paranormally, something, I don't know. It all kind of falls into the same umbrella.
Stop it.
Yeah, we're on video, and I just did the umbrella.
Yeah, you did.
It could all fall
to
under
your
that.
shame.
Yeah, dude, the piercing of the veil, maybe something just happened to peek through. I mean, I'll bring up a large corpse deposit, I guess. I did that last episode, I think. Probably do it this one, too.
Yeah,
Do all your veil piercings require a large piece of quartz to do the piercing? Is that the shiv that breaks the reality barriers?
No,
yeah, is this it? No,
it just depends on my mood, how I'm feeling. If I'm down
what
with
other
the
things
quartz.
can pierce a veil? You're the expert.
Yeah, okay.
Magic. You're about to say magic, weren't you?
Yeah, I was actually.
Can a sigil pierce the veil?
Magic possibly, depending on whatever people are doing, because I don't think
magic.
Yeah,
Boba Fett with the ejector
missile
missile
just like a spell
in the back of his back there. The kid's choked on, but probably didn't. Can that pierce the veil?
Yeah, the price that there's only like 3 in existence, so yeah, the price of that could definitely pierce a veil. Maybe even something like environmental, as as I mentioned, the quartz
mutants.
I'm thinking like dimensionally speaking, if it's something like magnetic, maybe going on there. If there's ley lines, that's the thing, right? Walk the ley lines, traverse the dimensions.
As far as we know, they're a thing.
Okay.
We've heard about them.
Yeah. That's it. We have experience.
I don't have evidence in my back pocket saying ley lines. I believe they exist. They seems to be pretty compelling evidence that they do, but fuck if I know.
I don't even know if I've ever seen quartz. I'm not even sure.
Oh, God damn it. Yes, you have. You son of a bitch.
You mean like in real life?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm sure you
I was
have,
like, quartz deposit. That sounds good. I think I stole that from Hellier, actually. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, I don't know. It could be, and nothing's off the table and anything is possible with these. They are super creepy, though. And it is kind of odd that they're in, sort of spotted in this, 180-mile area of Pennsylvania.
This shit ain't the 100-acre woods. Christopher Robin ain't going to picnic there with his little furry buddies. This shit's dangerous.
You got some weird crab walking fucking thing heading across the road.
You know it's bad. It's upside down. Like its nipples are sticking up towards the moon and its genitals are flying, but it's walking with backwards legs and its head's twisting around. And you're just like, the fuck are you?
You saying it's doing it just to be an asshole?
Just to be
doesn't
an
really
asshole.
Walk that way?
And it's got like super big nipples, which by the way, I'm fine with, but it's just going to be ostentatious on this fucking creature because you're already walking like a goddamn backward spider thing.
You just got nipples and dinky balls to the sky and you're just walking, not even a care in the world.
Not a care. And walking arrhythmically at that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that sucks too.
That's awful. Jesus. All right.
Before we split though, I gotta take one thing that I love, and it's one of my favorite subgenres of cult cinema, and that is of course nature run amok, aka echo horror. The mutant. It might not be a bear or a puma or a fucking rogue koala that escaped from private collection. It might not be any of those things, but it might be any of those things exposed to some fucking 3 Mile Island or some Love Canal type bullshit that had a chance to gestate and ferment and get its dick on backwards and all the fucking things that happen. Like the Inside Out bear from the movie Prophecy, not the angel one with Christopher Walken from the 90s, but the 70s one with Talia Shire. Watch it for the greatest raccoon attack in cinema history. That shit, it could be that they're just fucking pollutant mutants. Rhymes and fucking they're just fucking around in Pennsylvania.
A pollutant mutant.
I think that just causes cancer, though. Haven't we talked about this before?
Yeah,
I think
I still believe in Spider-Man. I know you get leukemia, not powers.
Yeah.
I know, but maybe this one time. But mutants do happen. I mean, look at the shit in Chernobyl. I'm not saying you got like 3-headed fucking Cerebus dogs and all sorts of cool Hydra fucking things, but you get weird things, extra big worms. Radioactive wolves.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about the radioactive wolves, dog. I'm here for you. I want to believe that we can take the nuclear waste and we can empower our animals to be like new versions of the Ninja Turtles. I want to. It's just the whole cancer thing kind of stops that.
Just saying, never take the broken chromosome off the table.
All right, man, I'm there with you, dude.
It affects animals different than us, seemingly. So
true.
Some animals are highly adaptive, and if the Lewisberry Scuttler, I don't know what I almost called it, is not a mammal that went weird, but a spider that went fucking big. Well, insects can survive. I know they're not insects. Arachnids and insects can survive all sorts of shit that higher, quote unquote, higher animals and mammals can't.
Right.
Who the fuck knows? Yeah. I don't think it's a radioactive super spider. I'm just saying, I need that option to be out there.
Yeah, I mean, anything and everything is possible. That's the beauty of the Cryptonaut podcast. We just kind of take it and turn it into what we want it to be.
That's a fact.
There it is.
Oh, okay. God bless it.
There it is. That's going to do it. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Cryptonaut Podcast, hellerspace.com. Get yourself those t-shirts. Get yourself that merch. Holidays are here. Don't buy anything for anybody else. Buy shit for yourself. That's what I say.
Wow, that's
shit. All right.
Weird Christmas sentiment. Well done.
You like that? Yeah, no, because people are going to get you your stuff. You're going to be like, oh, cool, thanks, whatever. But you go and buy yourself. Treat yourself this season. I think that's the important message here, is treat yourself to something nice. A possible t-shirt from hellerspace.com.
You could do worse.
There you go.
There it is.
And they come with their holy shirt guarantee, where if they send you a shirt and it gets all messed up, they will replace it for free. And be sure to use that if anything happens. I've used it more than once.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a indictment of TeePublic. I'm not sure, but hey, they offer that, so definitely be sure to use it. The Instas and the Twitters and the Facebooks, we're out there on the socials doing everything that we do. Thank you all to everyone participating there. We appreciate it. The patreon.com/Kryptonaut podcast. $1 is a shout out, $5 is the shout out with the bonus audio. The $1 gets 1 bonus audio, and the $5 gets up to the 4 bonus audios.
Sometimes 6.
More. Sometimes 6. Yeah. We had a thing where there was just 6.
It's a lawless land out there.
You'll never get more than 4, except when we give you 6.
Yeah, we just totally jumped that 4. We're like, fuck it, we're doing 6. It happens.
I told you we lie. We lie all the time.
Oh my God. We don't mean to, but then we
tell you some shit, and then we're just going to be like, wrong. And it's going to go either in our favor or in your favor. We're not really sure how it's going to work. So yeah, thank y'all to everyone out there doing all that stuff. We appreciate it. Thank you to all of our listeners. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us and
for sure.
being here week in and week out doing this with us. We appreciate it more than anything. It's and we're up to 220, I believe this episode is.
So, dang.
Yeah,
what
it's a lot.
Fiddly Bickens. That's
time to quit. See you later.
Time to quit.
Roll the credits.
There you go. Oh, and
we just jumped the squonk.
Yeah, there it is. Boom. And also, too, thank you to our advertisers that we've recently attained. We appreciate them coming on board and working with us. They're super cool. We're extremely lucky, actually, that our advertising agency, the people that we work with, are really fucking cool. Like, really cool. Mm-hmm. It's really nice to be able to be working with such cool folks, helping us get hooked up with advertisers. So if you happen to hear anything on this show advertised and you want to get into it, it just helps support the show. So, as you're doing that, you're helping support us. So we appreciate that. And there you have it. We'll be talking with y'all soon. Hopefully next week we'll be back together, not in little video squares with COVID crap happening. So hopefully next week we'll be back together in the flesh.
All right. One last. This mud skipping fuck all. What if that's like the broken arrow? What if that's the projectile developed by the interdimensionals to fucking slay the scuttle spider that pierced the veil? So it's only designed to be a projectile weapon, like a battering ram that can fly. And the only reason it did what it did is because it was sent here to stalk. I love to say the word with an extra L. The fucking...
Yeah, all of a sudden you just say words wrong now.
It's just the way I'm going to do it from now on. That weird spider fucking thing, and it saw with its like fucking X-ray eyes, like it's reflective eyes, and it just square, and it killed it, and it lands, and it headbutts it, and it dies, and it's saving all of us. What about that? Just for a thought.
I actually think that's pretty fucking cool. I like that. It's like a cool ram man. It just shows up and headbutts shit and kills it.
Well, there's shit from some dimensions that are, going to be jerks, and there's shit from higher dimensions that are equally jerks, but for some reason they're possessive of us. So they're just kind of looking out for us like pets. And it doesn't mean they're not all dillweeds. They probably are, but one must kill the other.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We are a fucking interdimensional battleground.
It's a tale as old as time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just Beauty in the scummy fist.
Elbow.
Beauty in the fist. That's great. Oh, there you have it. We'll be talking to you.
Bye. Bye.